Hello, my name is Michael Cooper, and I'm here to talk to you about the inhumane labor practices used by big corporations, such as Apple, mainly as Apple, of course. Does the good outweigh the bad? While many international corporations, such as Apple, seem to be virtuous in reality, these companies violate human rights and break many labor laws. Admittingly, these companies have made my life, assuming your life or anyone else's life, 10 times more easier. But on the other hand, the good they have created comes at a major cost. While Apple continuously seems to get pricier and pricier for U.S. citizens such as you and me, they cut corners and use forced labor. Today, I want to show how Apple takes advantage of their stretch of power and how you can make a difference by supporting legislation that hinders companies such as Apple. So, first, Apple uses cheap alternative ways of unethical labor to be more efficient and cost effective. It's not bad, but it's unethical. They're doing it illegally. Just want me to say it like just illegally. Linux Technology, a longtime supplier of Apple, reportedly has been used for forced labor. According to an article by the Washington Post, they have quote unquote been accused of using forced Muslim labor in its factories, according to documents uncovered by a human rights group. These Uyghur Muslims have been told by the Chinese government to either work or go to a detention center. If Apple knew of this, they knowingly supported the Uyghur Muslim genocide, which not a good look. Even when U.S. lawmakers lobbied against a bill to hinder American companies from using forced Uyghur labor, Apple had quote-unquote sought to weaken the bill. Apple is not the only major company that's following this bill. According to the New York Times, Nike and Coca-Cola are among the major companies and business groups lobbying Congress to weaken a bill that would ban imported goods made by the forced labor in China's Jiangxi region. That's from New York Times Post. An iPhone manufacturer in Bengaluru, India, was ransacked by angry workers because of terrible working conditions, along with being unpaid. According to the All India Central Council of Trade Unions, the thousands of workers were exposed to quote unquote extremely exploitative, sweatshop-like working conditions in gross violation of labor laws. They were also promised 22,000 rupees, which I don't know the exchange rate, but I know that's not much compared to US dollars, which they earned far less than. So, not a strong amount in the beginning, and they were paid less. Not good. And they were not even paid in the month of November of 2020. And these are not people in America who have systems such as food tickets or something like that. This is India. They're not as structured as we are here in America, and they're the second highest populated area. So another example, with Suyin Electronics, one of Apple's suppliers, enforced child labor, and Apple found out. They continued to work with this company for 3 years. According to the former Apple workers, this was not the first time Apple resisted doing business with unethical companies. Apple also, quote-unquote, discovered additional workers as young as 14 years old during an audit just 3 months later from the Apple inside. But ultimately, we cannot give up on that. But what we need to do is be able to hinder their opportunities of doing this, such as firmly supporting the Uyghur Forced Labor Prevention Act and holding Apple accountable for the better. And even though the act easily passed through Congress, these bills are crucial to our democracy. We cannot forget about it in case someone wants to amend it 2 years down the road. That's the background. Also, as of February 21st, 2021, if it means anything, Apple has released a new ethics and compliance webpage. While this is most likely a publicity stunt, Apple employees as a whole completed over 550,000 individual courses designed to educate in application of company policies. While the majority of Apple workers are genuine people trying to support their families, it is the CEO, Tim Cook, who needs to be held accountable. He's making all the decisions. Apple has even been scrutinized by apps within their own app store. According to a New York Times article, Spotify and Epic Games, quote unquote, form a coalition for app fairness, a nonprofit group that plans to push for changes in the app stores and protect Apple carbon. So in conclusion, Apple has made the lives of many people better, not denying that. And they should continue to do so. But using forced labor is never an excuse to maximize profits. Companies such as Apple or Amazon have too much of an economic impact to be completely kicked off the face of the earth. But these companies can be protested, and legislation has been passed to help fight against these unjust ethics of business. Also, the problem is not only just the day-to-day worker, it is the high-ups, Tim Cook, Jeffrey Bezos, those type of guys that need to be held accountable for what they are doing. This is not acceptable. So, just by supporting legislation and just keeping up with it, we can make a difference. And I know that sounds very cliche, but this is very important because I know it doesn't affect us as a country, but it is going so far beyond that. It is affecting people thousands and thousands of miles away from us, and I still think that's important to know. And they have rights just like we do, and it's not fair for us to get all these phones. And I'm guilty of it too, but it's not fair for us to have these phones and not know what is going on making these phones. And I